Yeah, I probably could have tried, but why? I knew my calling since the day I turned 9 and got a Super Nintendo and an acoustic guitar and started playing on both until my fingers got scars.
What's up, Wizards Dev? SBMTG. Usually got decks and stuff. Today we got Spurlers. Shadows over Innistrad Spurlers, as a matter of fact. Some cards were officially spoiled by Wizards and some cards were leaked. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about cards from the leak too. Whoever's leaking cards over there at Wizards has been fairly reliable for the last like 3 or 4 sets. So I have no reason so far to believe that these leaked cards aren't going to be included in the set. And like I said, leaked cards have been pretty much a staple for the last few sets, so much so that I think maybe Wizards is doing that on purpose, but that's all speculation. Let's get to the top 10. Actually, hold up for a second before we get to the top 10 because I gotta do some nods to stuff. Mind Rack Demon. Not gonna really talk about it for a long time here because we've known about this card for a while, but it was officially confirmed by Wizards finally, you know. But we've looked at the card forever now, so here's Mind Rack Demon. It's a real thing. Is it good or not? Who knows? We'll see. Also, before I start the top 10, my Boopy Prize. Here's a silly card. This is Pieces of the Puzzle, and some of these, you know, are a little tough to read, so I'll read a few of these for you. Basically, a 3-mana sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put up to 2 instants and or sorceries into your hand, and put the rest into your graveyard. Well, you know, silly card, I think. You do get to fuel graveyard strategies with this. That could possibly be a thing, and this, I won't even bar this from seeing play in Standard, even at the common level. It's entirely possible. But, you know, the thing that this looks like to me is like, are you bummed that Dig Through Time is leaving Standard? Well, here's a way worse one. Yay. And what's my flavor honorable mention? So many extra prizes. My flavor honorable mention is definitely Tooth Collector. Tooth Collector is so great. He just looks like Doc Brown to me. Marty, give me all of your teeth! I like the idea that once he's delirious, you just get to like go around pulling teeth every turn. That's a cool idea. And the Enter the Battlefield thing is cool. I like that the delirious creatures have Enter the Battlefield effects tacked on to their delirious, you know, triggers, their abilities. So that seems like it's really cool, and I'll talk about one specifically that I really, really like a little bit later on here. But let's get into the actual top 10 finally. Let's do that. Number 10 is Stitched Mangler. The card doesn't look super impressive or anything. I'm not trying to pimp it too much. But I will say that this has a cool comes into play ability. You don't care if it comes into play tap most of the time. I mean, it's not going to swing the turn it comes into play. Sure, it can't block the turn it comes in. Whatever, who cares? Really cool with like Collected Company. I can see this in like a budget sort of Collected Company deck. But it is, you know, it's removal. It freezes the creature for like a whole turn cycle. That's pretty cool. So I like a lot of things about this. Just enough, I think, to warrant mention of it. But not much else. Number 9 is Furtive Homunculus. This I just really like that we get to see a new keyword ability in Skulk. You know, it's basically Silumgar Assassin's unblockability now. It has a keyword ability. That's pretty cool right there. And this could see some play in certain Pauper variants. Been doing a lot of research on Pauper lately, so forgive me. I like a lot about this, and I think Skulk definitely has some potential. Let's put it that way. Number 8 is Pour Over the Pages, another official spoiler from Wizards. This looks interesting considering that Madness is pretty much confirmed back in this set. We know that Madness is in this set again. That's pretty awesome. A lot of people love Madness, myself included. It's really, really cool ability. And so it makes, you know, discarding cards turn into a positive effect. And this has a little cool thing from like the Urza's block tapped on. The thing where when you cast the spell, you get to untap lands. It's not as busted as like Treachery or anything. It's no Treachery. I'm going to leave Treachery right there for a second so you can read that card if you've never read it before. That's how busted cards used to be. Also, if you're casting a card with Madness after you discard it, then this card untaps the 2 lands, letting you, you know, pay Madness costs. That's one thing to consider too. Plus, I haven't even talked about this. Drawing 3 cards is great. I'm going to cheat for number 7 and talk about 2 cards, but they're sort of the same card, and just they expand on one another. First of all, Devil's Playground and Dance with Devils. They both produce these nifty little devil tokens that I think are really cool. Whenever they die, they deal damage to a creature or a player. That's any target. That's really, really cool right there. And in a format with, you know, Impact Tremors, Zulaport Cutthroat, Nantuko Husk, like, these could actually see some play. And I like that Dance with Devils is instant speed. That's pretty cool right there. I like things that produce tokens at instant speed. And it's splashable, you know. Devil's Playground, I'm not so sure if 6 mana is an awful lot. That's a ton of mana. But, you know, I really like the idea that they do damage when they die. It's not just like, here's some 1/1 tokens that don't do anything beyond being 1/1 tokens. No, these actually pose a threat if your opponent removes them. And cards like that are traditionally pretty good, especially when stacked with other effects like Cutthroat. So, yeah, I really like this. Number 6 is Lightning Axe. This is a reprint right here from Time Spiral. Used to be a card that did not see much play. It's just 1 red mana for an instant, and as an additional cost, you can either pay a 5 generic generic mana, or you can discard a card. This does 5 damage to a creature. Now, just the 1 mana is pretty good, and discarding a card is obviously really, really good in this format where we're going to have Madness. I'm almost certain, if I remember correctly, that the last time this card was in Standard, we did not have Madness in the format, and so with Madness in the format, this card gets much more desirable, and I do think we'll see some Standard play almost unquestionably, especially if we get some really good Madness stuff. But there's another card with Madness coming up here very soon in this list that will just completely validate the play of Lightning Axe on its own. So yeah, Lightning Axe, good card in this format at least. Number 5, and this is where we get into stuff that I actually really like. Number 5 is Topplegeist. Is this one of the best 1 mana 1/1 flyers ever? And I know that's a crazy question, like Putrid Imp and Judge's Familiar are probably objectively better. But still, this is up there. It's like the upper echelon of 1/1 flyers for just the 1 mana. First of all, it has an enter the battlefield effect. That's always welcome. And it's a good top deck a little bit later on in the game. And much later on in the game, or even for some decks in Modern, like the 3rd turn, this locks down a creature for a full combat cycle, your turn and their turn. That's awesome. You just remove the best creature from combat for their attack step and then your following attack step as well. That's ridiculous on just a 1-drop guy. I actually think this card is being under-evaluated right now. I really think that this is going to see some play somewhere. It just does an awful lot of things. Has an enter the battlefield trigger, good top deck, not terrible on turn 1, a lot going for it. Hello, Ziggy. Number 4 here is another card I think is being under-evaluated. This is Duskwatch Recruiter / Callan Horde Howler. Ridiculous names, but hey, Transforms back. Transforms back, you guys. Rejoice about that. But I'm going to read this one for you too because it's a little hard to read with the current version we have right here. A 2 mana 2/2, that's always welcome. For 2 generic and a green, you can look at the top 3 cards of your library, put a creature from among them into your hand, and then put the others on the bottom of your library in any order. That's not bad. And if you haven't played, if at the end of any turn, if a player hasn't played a spell, you flip him into Callan Horde Howler. Callan Horde Howler is a form of ramp once you get him, you know, just creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and you have a chance of flipping him back over for more card advantage. That's pretty cool too. So you got a thing that's, you know, card advantage on one side, ramp on the other side, and a decent body at 3/3. So I think this is actually pretty darn good, to be honest with you, and may see some play. Number 3, we're getting to the top 3 here, is Eerie Interlude. And it's a strictly better Ghostway. I do think it is strictly better. You can choose the creatures that leave play rather than just all of your guys leaving play. That seems like it's probably better. But I love that this is in the same standard format as Eldrazi Displacer. That's cool parity there. And call me crazy, but this could be an interesting replacement for something like Rally the Ancestors, in a deck that doesn't care as much about graveyard tricks and cares more about board presence, you know. Exiling and then bringing back all your guys can be really good with a lot of the enter the battlefield tricks that we've got in this format. So something like this could be cool, and Ghostway right now is at like $5 to $9 on TCG Player. I had no idea it was that high until I looked it up, so this could help control the price, and it could be a second copy in Commander deck, so a lot of people are happy about this. Number 2 is Fiery Temper, an interesting reprint right here. If you can't read it and you've never seen it before, it is 3 mana, you know, a 1 and 2 red for an instant speed, 3 damage to a creature or player, so a bolt. Or you could Madness it to turn it into an actual lightning bolt. Madness just 1 red to turn it into 3 damage to a target. That's pretty awesome, especially with Lightning Axe. I've already talked about that in the format. Oath of Jace looks better every day, by the way. I just want to point that out. We did need some good burn in this standard with Wild Slash leaving. We need to fill that void, and this is really good at doing that. This is sort of in the sweet spot in a way, because it's a cool reprint. Everybody likes cool reprints, and it's not Lightning Strike, but there is a way that it could be technically better than Lightning Strike in some situations. So it's a thing that's not Lightning Strike, but you can't really grumble about either. I'm happy to see Temper back. And my number 1 of the first day of Shadows over Innistrad spoilers here, leak included, is Invasive Surgery. Yeah, this card looks really good. Maybe instant modern sideboard staple, perhaps. Counters Scapeshift. That seems pretty good. Also counters like Inquisition of Kozilek, and Thoughtseize, Gitaxian Probe, a lot of other stuff. Serum Visions, if you're into it. There's some other things. Living End is a big one, I would say. That seems pretty big to me. Lingering Souls, Damnation. As a matter of fact, in Standard it counters all the sweepers too, except for the Kozilek card, Kozilek's Return. Also in Standard, counters Explosive Vegetation. Yeah, this Invasive Surgery I think could be really easy, and Delirious in general could be, or Delirium, could be really easy to get off. Just yes to Invasive Surgery. I think this is probably the single most impactful card that we see today. That's all I've got for now. I had a little hole in my schedule, so I figured I'd go ahead and cover these spoilers because I'm still doing a lot of work on Solar Flare and Super Friends. Let me know which one you want to see first, and I'll go ahead and push that one out. Yeah, and tell me how you felt about the spoilers for the first day. If I missed anything that you really like, always let me know about that. Or if I just under or over evaluated anything, also get me on that. I'm always interested in your opinion. So like, share, comment, like I just said, and subscribe if you're new. I'm Dev from SBMTG, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, my wizards.